No surprise, Stephon Castle won the NBA Rookie of the Year award. And let's talk with ChatGPT.
You are Locked On Spurs, your daily San Antonio Spurs podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hey, welcome back to Locked On Spurs. We're doing the Locked On NBA Network. I'm your host, Jeff Garcia, Spurs writer for KENS 5 San Antonio. Glad to have y'all back. Hope you're having a great day. And as always, thank you for being the everydayers. Come here to Locked On Spurs every single day. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, KENS 5 Plus app. You know where to go. Go do that right now. And while you're at it, leave a comment at the Locked On Spurs YouTube page because we might read it in a future episode of Locked On Spurs. Today's episode is brought to you by Amazon Fire TV Stick 4K. And you can turn any TV into your own Xbox. No console needed. Head to Amazon.com/Fire TV Locked On to learn more. What are we talking about today? We're going to be looking at or reacting to Stephon Castle winning the Rookie of the Year. I know, act surprised, everybody. Act surprised. But we'll talk about that, some numbers, some elite company he's with. And I kind of ask the question now, with another accolade in his young career, is he a permanent fixture in San Antonio, or for the right deal, would you trade him? And then we're going to be having fun with ChatGPT. We're going to ask ChatGPT a very big question, and I already know the answer to it, and I'm pretty shocked. Yeah, you'll see what the question and answer is in just a few seconds. It's going to bring in our guest. He is Joe Garcia with Area 210 Podcast. Hey, the alien is not behind you today.
No, he'll show up. He'll show up here.
All right, yeah, we got to have the alien make a cameo here. Make sure to follow Joe on X at Area 210 Podcast and talk about his show in just a few minutes, the Area 210 Podcast. By the way, your co-host, man, Mike Jimenez, giving strays when he's gone, man. Do you see that?
Yeah, I did.
Took shots at him.
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday. It was funny.
Oh, what did he have to say? I think I missed it.
No, he was laughing. He was like, "Oh yeah," he's like, "I did that." He was they were sharing stories about him flooding the Airbnb, putting in the wrong soap in the dishwasher. So it doesn't surprise me.
Absolutely not. But Joe, how you been, buddy?
Been good. A lot of things have been happening here for the San Antonio Spurs that we're going to be talking about here. Something good happened.
yeah, exactly. The silver lining in last season's down season, no postseason, was Stephon Castle. Let's get into it, Joe. No surprise. Nobody should have been shocked. Everybody saw this coming. The worst kept secret in the NBA, and that is Stephon Castle winning the 2024-2025 NBA Rookie of the Year award. He put up some good numbers, some great numbers in his rookie class. We'll get into a bit in just a few seconds. But he now joins elite company, Joe, with himself, Wemby, Duncan, and 5-0 himself, David Robinson. First of all, it wasn't a surprise, Joe. It wasn't a surprise, but you texted me the day before it came out, and you said, you kind of wish it was unanimous. Why is that?
Because I think Stephon Castle is deserving of it. He kind of showed that he was head and shoulders above everybody else, even though the race got a little bit close there for a moment. But then he showed, what he was really made of as the season kind of came to an end, kind of pulled away from the pack, even though there was other, contenders here, which they played good as well. It's just Stephon Castle is showing that he's just cut from a different cloth. The kid's fearless. He has great court vision, high basketball IQ, and you just like the tools that he came into the NBA with. He was already ready to play, ready to go, and he was the kind of the shining moment for the Spurs on a down season. So I was kind of disappointed he wasn't the unanimous Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, and I know there's some Spurs fans are saying, "Who cares?" as long as he won it, and they're right. But Joe, we looked at the voting breakdown. There was some voter gave him a third place vote.
Was it Jimenez?
Probably was. Wouldn't be surprised. But, whoever, once those results, like the full results come out, that person, whoever it was, is going to get cooked by the Spurs fan base. But no, I get it. Joe, what you said about it not being unanimous. It's a rare thing to have. It's kind of like I would say like an honor to be given that unanimous vote, because it kind of really puts you like, there's heads above the rest, and then there's heads above the rest in a class. So unfortunately, that did not happen. But nevertheless, back-to-back Rookie of the Year awards for your San Antonio Spurs. Last year, well, I guess technically last year was Castle now, but the year before that was Victor Wembanyama. That was the first time that has happened since the 24-15, 2015-16 season with Minnesota when Karl-Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins won it. So it's been a while. But, Joe, we look at what Castle averaged last season, 14.7 points per game, 3.7 rebounds, 4.1 assists, close to 1 steal per game. He led all rookies in points per game. He ranked 4th in assists per game among rookies, 6th in steals per game. In total points, he was number 1. Total steal. I mean, the list goes on and on. For a draft class that was considered weak, Joe, all things considered, it wasn't too bad. You got Castle, Richard, the guy that could have wanted Jared McCain in Philadelphia before he got injured. You look back at the draft class, it wasn't that terrible, was it?
Wasn't that terrible. I mean, and not by any means there. But, I mean, Stephon Castle, regardless of where this draft class was at, he showed that I think if you were to do this all over again, he'd probably at least go 2. In my mind, there's no doubt that he would go 2. Kind of slipping to number 4 was a saving grace for the San Antonio Spurs, in a decent class, a draft class. So I'm just happy he landed here in San Antonio.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you imagine if the Rockets didn't pass on him?
Oh,
man. Imagine the Rockets were on the board and Castle's name was still there. So they went with who many thought was going to win the Rookie of the Year, where it was Reed Shepherd, but he was kind of a non-factor for them this past season. We kind of joked about that voting for the third place vote, who got whoever that was. We'll find out soon. But let's go to look at how it went down. He received 482 total points. The Zachary Richard, you mentioned him, 245 total points. So there was no contest. It was a landslide. He received 92 first place votes, 7 second place votes, and of course everybody knows the 1 third place vote. Richard only received 5 first place votes, 64 second place votes, and 28 third place votes. So there you have it. But all in all, great rookie season, solid. The Spurs found themselves a gem in the draft. He's fixing to be a part of the rebuild long term. But Joe Garcia, if you're GM for the Spurs, would you consider trading Castle for the right deal?
Absolutely not. I would go ahead and keep Castle. I would say he's one of the untouchables. The only untouchables on this team to me are going to be Wemby, Fox, and Castle. The rest of them, if you get somebody calling and they give you a decent deal you can't refuse, their name is going to be gone. But Castle is one of the untouchables.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. For me, either he's untouchable or that deal better be a sweetheart of a deal. I'm talking about, an insane package the Spurs could not refuse. I mean, we're talking like number 1, like a Cooper flag thrown in with first round picks, something stupid like that, but I mean, that'll likely never happen. Now, he's definitely a part of this rebuild moving forward. There is a permanent fixture, because the last thing I want to see is the Spurs maybe trade him and then turn it out to be an SGA situation. Remember, he was a Clipper. SGA was a Clipper before he joined the Thunder, and now he's likely going to be the NBA MVP. So that's what I'm afraid of. I think the Spurs got themselves the guard of the rebuild. They got themselves the centerpiece, Wemby. They got the guard of the rebuild, Castle, and they got the co-star, as of right now, with De'Aaron Fox. Joe, before we hit the break, I want to ask you this question, so I want you to think about it for a little bit here. With Castle, obviously, stars rising. Does that push him further ahead in the pecking order? Maybe just right below Wemby and pushing down Fox. We'll talk about that in just a few minutes with Joe Garcia of Area 210 Podcast. Follow him on X at Area 210 Podcast. So, yeah, let Joe simmer on that for a few seconds. But first, I want to talk to you about Amazon Fire TV Stick 4K.
Did you know your Fire TV is also an Xbox? Turn any TV into your gaming and entertainment hub.
Your hub with Fire TV Stick 4K devices, no console required. Just grab your paired controller, subscribe, or sign into the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with EA Play included, and you're ready to play. Dive into hundreds of premium titles, from EA Sports College Football 25 to Call of Duty Black Ops 6 to Avowed. As easy as you stream your favorite shows, it's gaming made simple, and it's on your Fire TV.
Endless entertainment with 4K streaming. Watch more than 1.5 million movies and TV episodes from your favorite subscribed services like Netflix, Prime Video, Disney Plus, Max, and more. Hey, how about affordable and portable gaming? Play high-quality Xbox games at a fraction of the cost than a console. Already have a console? No problem. A Fire TV Stick 4K device is more affordable and easier to travel with, allowing you to take you or your kids' games wherever you plug in. Look, you got to get it right now. The Fire Stick TV 4K can be a game changer. Look, you don't have to have any gaming interest. You can just dive in. And by the way, it's so easy to use, so easy to navigate. This is a great way to even just start playing some gaming and on the Xbox as well. Hey, head to Amazon.com/Fire TV Locked On to get started. Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription and compatible controller is required. Available on select devices, including Fire TV Stick 4K 2nd Gen, Fire TV Stick 4K Max 1st and 2nd Gen, and Fire TV Cube 3rd Gen.
Hey, this is Hot Rod.
And I'm RC from Cybertron Springs.
And you're listening to Locked On Spurs with Jeff Garcia.
And we're back right here on Locked On Spurs with Joe Garcia. He's with Area 210 Podcast. Go to YouTube, type that in, Area 210 Podcast. Subscribe right now. Do Joe a favor because you got to get those numbers up. By the way, your numbers for the show are climbing fast, buddy.
Yeah, we have good interaction every time we do a show. A lot of people in the chat, man. It's hard to keep up with it, but that's a good problem to have.
That's a great plan. That's a great problem to have. Hey, so before the break, I asked you a question you think about during the break. Is with Castle's star on the rise, is he maybe the number 2 guy now on the roster ahead of De'Aaron Fox? What do you think about that, Joe?
I still think that Castle is your third option. The way I see the pecking order is quite different than what you see it. Mm-hmm. I actually see Fox as your number 1 option. Since he's an overall better player than Wemby is at this stage in his career. Wemby's more of the perimeter shooting kind of guy, even though he's the tallest guy on the court, really reluctant to go inside the paint. Mm-hmm. But he does have a presence inside the paint when it comes to shot blocking ability. That's great. But you need somebody that's going to be fearless and play in the paint and go strong to the rim. Wemby does that at times, but his game is more of a finesse game from the perimeter. Castle, on the other hand, he has great off the ball handle. He can get to the rim with ease, great athleticism, speed, fearlessness. The kid has it all. I think he's your third option. Wemby's your second. Fox is your first. Not only be saying that Fox is your first because his overall game is better than Wemby's, but the thing is Fox, I think, is going to be your closer, should I say, for the foreseeable future, because the Spurs need a closer at the end of the games, especially in the fourth quarter, and I think that's going to be Castle.
Well, that's a take there. Joe, you actually believe he's actually perhaps the number 1 guy on the roster, pushing down Wemby and obviously Fox. That is an interesting take. And you know what? I could definitely see that long-term, that panning out. But as of right now, I'm not on board with that. I still think it's Wemby. The defensive-ness that he provides is way more impactful than Castle. Not to say Castle ain't good on defense, because he is, but just more intangibles that Wemby can do on both ends of the courts is why he still remains number 1. But
here's my pushback to you, though.
Go ahead.
The problem that I have with Wemby isn't his abilities. The problem that I have with him is that he all but disappears when he goes up against some of the better talent in the NBA. If you want to be that number 1 option and you want to be that bona fide superstar, you got to show up in the big moments. You can't just go ahead and fade away.
Yeah, and for me, if I could redo my I guess top 3, I would actually have Fox as number 2 ahead of Castle ahead of Fox in my pecking order, simply because I think Castle can have a more of a greater impact than Fox can. Not to say Fox is a damn good player, because he can light it up, the scoreboard. And he's good on defense. Again, they call him Swiper the Fox for a reason, the steals. But I just think with the size, the scoring ability, and hopefully an improved shot next season, because that's the biggest knock on him right now. Why many would think that Fox is ahead of him, simply because Fox can hit the outside shot more consistently than Castle can. But I would not be surprised to see, as the season moves on next year, that Castle leaps as the number 2 guy over Fox. Well, right now, I definitely got him as my number 2 guy, because I'm trying to get ahead of the pack here, Joe, before that happens. So I'm going to say, I told y'all back in the offseason this is going to happen. Joe, with Castle winning the Rookie of the Year award, how big is a testament is that to the Spurs' development and scouting?
Oh, I don't think this is a thing. That's the funny part that you go ahead and ask me about that. I don't think it's a testament to the Spurs and their scouting. I think what happened more is that Fox was there on the board. It's more
Castle, right? Castle.
Or so should I say Castle. Yeah. Castle was there on the board, right? So he just fell to the Spurs at number 4. And at that juncture, what are you going to do? Pick the best available player. Right. That was Fox. So they got Fox. He was already NBA ready. With Wemby, they got the number 1 overall pick. Mm-hmm. No brainer. Who are you going to pick at number 1? As far as their ability to develop players, I don't know if it's there anymore. I mean, it used to be back in the day when you had Chip on the team, and you were able to develop players and stash them over at the Austin Spurs in the G League, but you don't have that luxury anymore. You have to go ahead and look for players that are more NBA ready. So I think there's still something to be said about the team being able to develop players and bring them along, no doubt. But I don't think it's as prevalent as it once was in the past.
Interesting.
That's just my honest opinion.
Yeah, I give the Spurs credit for keeping their eye on Castle since his high school days. Yeah, he was fully aware that the Spurs were already checking him out before he even hit the college hardwood. So they definitely had him on his radar. Kudos to the Spurs for doing that. And listen, it's panning out. He definitely had a solid rookie season. The numbers show it. Obviously, the trophy reflects that, Rookie of the Year. Let's not forget MVP of the Rising Stars contest during All-Star weekend, a slam dunk. I mean, he's definitely his star is on the rise. But Joe, maybe this is a separate topic for Locked On Spurs, so we'll just throw it out there right now. Got to ask you, do you feel that he should have a considerable jump next season or just a steady increase in stats? Because if we're putting it up there as a number 2 or number 3 option, you're definitely going to expect a lot more out of him. What do you think?
I think if he's going to be the number 3 option in next season, where I have him, I think his leap should just be in small phases because he's already shown that he's already leaps and bounds ahead of anybody else as far as that rookie class goes. He's ready right now. And the thing that I like about Castle is the one thing you have to do is a comparison with Vassell, right? When you look at Vassell and what he needs to go ahead and get his points at any given time, he needs a lot of touches. He's taking touches away from everybody else out there on the court. Whereas Castle, he's more efficient. So he can go ahead and pick his opportunities. If he's open, you give him the ball, let the kid work, and more than likely he's going to go ahead and produce for you. So that's why I'm saying I think Castle is a more efficient player than Vassell. And dare I say, I think Castle has a higher ceiling than one Devin Vassell. I think with Devin Vassell, you've already seen what you're going to get as far as his peak. But with Castle, he hasn't peaked yet. He's barely going to be coming in when the season starts again, coming into the end of October there. This is going to just be his second season, and the kid looks amazing already. So I think his leap should just be, gradual. It doesn't have to be dramatic.
Yeah. I think there's going to be a segment of Spurs fans that are expecting a dramatic jump next season. I'm not there with them. I think you just want to see him get better, little by little, and I think he will. Obviously, the big thing he has to work on this offseason, training camp, preseason, is that outside shot. I think once he starts getting that, then everything else is going to open up for him. Not to mention, too, playing with Wemby, hopefully for a full 82 next season. Just because Wemby's presence alone is going to help everybody else there. But, again, congratulations to Steph Castle. The 2024-2025 Rookie of the Year, not a surprise. Everybody knew it. I even texted Joe a couple days ago telling him, it's kind of obvious that he's going to get it. So, it was obvious. So, Spurs, again, back-to-back Roy winners. But those are our thoughts about Castle, him winning the award. Let us know what you think. You can let Joe know on X at Area 210 Podcast. You can let me know by leaving a comment on Locked On Spurs YouTube, subscribing. We'll read that comment, hopefully in a future episode of Locked On Spurs. But coming up next, we're going to have fun with ChatGPT. I asked it one big question. I'm going to tell you right now, I'll be thrilled if that prediction comes true for your silver and black right here on Locked On Spurs.
I am Megatron. Do not fail me and subscribe to Locked On Spurs with Jeff Garcia.
And we're back right here on Locked On Spurs with Joe Garcia. He is with Area 210 Podcast. Make sure to follow him on X at Area 210 Podcast. You want to do that right now. Hey, before we get into our final fun segment, talking with ChatGPT, we forgot to mention this in the first two segments, that Castle's Rookie of the Year basketball card via Topps, it's already out. And to make things even better, you can even get that back-to-back Rookie of the Year winners, Wemby and Fox, on a card, autographed, and it's 1/1. Joe, let's go show them what it looks like here. Check that out. That is via Topps there. First of all, these are basically the standard cards. There are other alt cards. So, for example, there's a Rookie of the Year, Steph Castle, but with a piece of his jersey. And then, of course, the Wemby and Castle card you see on your screen there, Joe. There's another one. That's the rare one, the 1/1, where they have autographs and the year that they wanted. But, Joe, can you imagine hitting that 1/1 back-to-back Rookie of the Year card? That's cash money right there.
Yeah, that Rookie of the Year card, the dual autograph one, that's a rare bird indeed, man. It has both Wemby and Castle signing the card with the year that they won the Rookie of the Year. It's a really nice card, man. And 1/1, that's something that you would actually keep in your war chest. You wouldn't want to go ahead and put it on eBay. I mean, it'll probably be worth something one day, but I would keep it for as long as I could.
Me too, especially if they win a title or they have a deep playoff push.
Yeah.
Or Castle All-Star. I mean, seriously.
Or they win a chip. Come on.
I know, right. But there you have it there. Again, you can get that over there at Topps. Just go on their website. And they have different packages. I think you can buy just one card. Hopefully you pull it. That'll be some extreme luck there. But you even packs of like 30, 40, 100. So press your luck, Spurs fans. See if you can get that 1/1 back-to-back Rookie of the Year with Castle and Wemby. And good luck to y'all. I wouldn't be surprised, Joe, there's a bounty already out there for this card.
Hey, maybe me and you got to go out there and buy a whole bunch of these cards and then just have like an opening. We open the packs up and see what's in there. Maybe we get lucky.
We'll get it. Well, my prediction we bust. It'll be just a bunch of other random players in there. But
the Houston Rocket players. What are you going to do with those? Throw them on the ground. By la basura, by the trash.
Exactly. Throw in the trash, man. Hey, Joe, let's have some fun with ChatGPT. And I want to save this segment for you because you're all about the AI and the technology. So this was carefully crafted for Mr. Joe Garcia here. So, Joe, I asked ChatGPT, said ChatGPT, predict when the San Antonio Spurs will be title contenders, get back to the NBA Finals. And here is the answer, Joe. Let's get your reaction. I'll give you my reaction as well. Here we go. So, according to ChatGPT, here's what they have to say, or it has to say. Predicting the exact year the San Antonio Spurs will return to the NBA Finals is challenging. But several factors suggest they can become serious contenders by the 2027-28 season in just 2 years, Joe? Are you buying or selling what ChatGPT is giving you?
I'm selling, dude. There's absolutely no way. Unless they get some shooters out there to go ahead and surround this core, because you need people that are going to come in, and they don't have to be superstars. They could just be veterans that can just go ahead and knock down an open bucket, from either beyond the arc or just go ahead and knock down consistent jump shots.
Yeah.
If you can go ahead and do that, then I'll go ahead and say I'm on board. But right now, with the crew that they have, absolutely not.
No way. No. Look, ChatGPT is good for some things, and it really is, or in just AI technology. But in this case, I think it may be a little off its prediction auto here. It might be a little. I mean, obviously, they make a big splash. Imagine, to be honest, in San Antonio, that definitely would accelerate that idea. But barring that type of deal, like to that level, bringing a Giannis. But even then, you would have to gut your roster because, let's just put it this way. You got his contract to deal with.
Yeah.
And, of course, Milwaukee will want a haul in return. So a lot of young players.
Well, what's the harm in that? Get rid of Vassell, get rid of Keldon, get rid of Sohan, some picks, package somebody else in there. Gone. I mean, are you really going to miss him? No.
Yeah. Let me see. Replace him with Giannis there. Yeah, exactly. Would make you miss them less and less and less. Now, according to ChatGPT, Joe, again, it keeps on repeating. It's difficult to pinpoint the year, but it keeps on saying 2027-28 season. I'm selling that as well. Let's see what I hear. Oh, so apparently, according to their timeline or ChatGPT's timeline, the reason for that prediction is because of player development. Some of you have heard that before.
Oh, God.
Roster adjustments and maturation of the young core. So that
doesn't say nothing about a coach. That's a big question mark.
Doesn't say anything about a coach. Yeah, that's huge. I mean, look what's going on with Detroit. And that's a big reason why they went back to the top of the East after coming off from the bottom of the East when they were like 14, 12 games or something like that. But nevertheless, I'm selling. I hope ChatGPT knows something that we don't know. You know, maybe they're the crystal ball there. They have it over at ChatGPT headquarters. They're saying, little do they know they're going to get Giannis, or something of that. But nevertheless, no, I am 100% selling. No way that's going to happen. Just like the West, you got OKC who's going to be there. You got Houston that seems to be maybe a player away from being, really a bigger threat.
They're the biggest frauds in the Western Conference right now.
They are right now.
You're getting knocked out.
Yeah, they are right now. Yeah, of course. And where did Jalen Green disappear to?
Or Sengun?
Yeah, well, Sengun's been playing pretty good, but
now when Draymond guards him, he disappears.
Well, yeah, that last second shot, but I think he dropped 30-something on him in the last game. But nevertheless, of course, you got Dallas. Say what you will about the Luka trade, but Kyrie, Anthony Davis, Lively, that could be something in the mix there. I wouldn't count them out completely. So, yeah, the West is still loaded, Joe. And then who knows where Cooper Flag might land? If he lands in the West with Utah, I mean, then there's another big power player.
Why not the Spurs?
Hey, maybe ChatGPT knows that they're going to win the lottery and bring in Flag. That's why this is going back to the title.
Maybe that's what we're going to ask here, Jeff, in a couple of days as we get closer and closer to the NBA draft lottery.
Yeah.
Are the Spurs going to get the number 1 overall pick again?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think we're definitely going to do that in a future episode of Locked On Spurs. Just ask ChatGPT to predict if the Spurs will get the number 1 pick. But barring that, no, ChatGPT. I think you're a little off in your calculations on this one. 27-28 season, a return to the finals for the Silver and Black, I highly doubt it.
So that means I have to go buy my Spurs season tickets for that year?
Yeah, see, they can help you in that way. Maybe get ahead of the curve and just get your season tickets now while they're cheap before they, go back to the finals. But, man, that would be nice to see, though, that the Spurs return to the NBA mountaintop. He is Joe Garcia. Make sure to follow my next at Area 210 Podcast. Joe, we need to know about your show, Area 210.
Yeah, so we're going on Mondays through Fridays. Mostly, unless I get called in early to work or Jimenez big times me, but we're Monday through Friday. We go on from about 10 to 11:30. Sometimes we go over a little bit. Jeff's a frequent guest there on our Area 210 podcast. And we just talk about sports, entertainment, nostalgia, pop culture, all that kind of stuff. So make sure you go and tune in. We do have a YouTube channel that's under the Alamo City Podcast Network. Go ahead and look for that and subscribe. We greatly appreciate the support.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a fun show, as Joe mentioned, very interactive, and it really, really is. That chat is just going all show long. So again, go to Area 210 Podcast on YouTube and subscribe ASAP. Joe, we thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. I know you work early and we work around your schedule. I'm glad we were able to do that. And again, make sure to follow him, everybody, on Area 210 Podcast over on X. And everybody else, we thank y'all for being everydayers. Yeah, coming here every day to Locked On Spurs and checking out what we got to talk about regarding your Silver and Black. And subscribe at iTunes, Spotify, Ken's 5 Plus app, YouTube. The list goes on. And we'll be back tomorrow talking all things Silver and Black as the long off season continues. Yeah, we'll need your help. But other than that, I am Jeff Garcia. He is Joe Garcia. We're going to put a lock on this episode of Locked On Spurs.